Good morning, traders. I'm Michael Sabo, Senior Commodities Broker here with RJO Futures on Tuesday, February 12th, bringing you some commentary here in the energy markets. So let's get started here. What do we have going on? Well, let's take a look here. Looking at the April crude oil contract here, a little bit firmer here this morning. We're seeing some follow through yesterday. Strong reversal day there yesterday and some pretty decent volume, and we're up right now this morning, up about 50 cents, just trading over $98 a barrel. Brent's also a little bit firmer right now, trading around 118 and about 118.34. We're up about 21 cents there. So taking a look here at the nat gas and the rest of the complex here. Nat gas, nat gas prices have been moving up here a little bit. We're trading around 335 and a half here, so we've seen a firmer tone here most recently. And then again, taking a look at the complex here, that's also been a touch firmer here as well. We've got the RBOB up at around 323 and a half, and the heat around 320 and a half. So we've seen both of those markets here kind of come up here a little bit. So what do we kind of have going on here? Well, as I mentioned yesterday in that April crude oil contract, we did see a bit of a reversal. I mean, that market went down yesterday to a low of 95.50, really looked a lot weaker, and then kind of quickly turned, saw basically a rally here the rest of the afternoon and closing up near the highs there. And it was on, again, as I mentioned, pretty good volume, and then we're seeing some follow through with it here today. And I think when you take a look at what's really moving things here, again, we got to take a focus here to the dollar here. Dollar, I think we've got we've had currency wars brewing here a little bit, and I think we're in the midst of seeing another one, a little bit bigger one kind of develop here, especially with the recent trade data out here. So we're seeing the dollar here starting to weaken a little bit, and to understand how that affects crude prices here generally, because oil is priced in terms of dollars here. So when you see a weaker dollar here, you can see crude prices start to lift up a little bit. And I think that's a little bit of what we're seeing here now. I'm really watching here the highs that we've seen back at the end of January, which were up at around the 98.5 area. We could see some double topping up here. If we break through that, crude prices could, push up towards that $100 a barrel. But as I've mentioned in a lot of these posts, take a look at our stockpiles. Supply and demand are what typically move commodity prices here. And again, the EIA is calling for this week to see another build in stockpiles here of around 2.5 to 3 million barrel build. So we've got API numbers coming out here later today. We'll take a look at those. That could possibly help set the stage for tomorrow's DOE report. Give me a call, shoot me an email. You want to get on that distribution list so you can get what the expectations are and then get what the actual numbers are. We can see how that might affect the market. If you're long in this market right now, I think, again, you got to be cautious. We have seen some good downward pressure. Of course, the last 2 days getting a little bit of a boost here, but we could run into some resistance up at these levels. Short-term indicators are still telling me that, we could see some selling pressure start to come into this market. We'll watch those inventory numbers and see what kind of impact that might have. Also, something I think important to point out here is that we did see a little bit of the geopolitical risk kind of heightened a little bit. North Korea doing some successful nuclear tests here on the overnight. So, we're watching that, and there's been a little bit more talk between, what's going on with Israel and what's happening here in Iran. So we'll kind of watch that. I mean, that's always been on the burners there, so we'll keep an eye on that. But nonetheless, we got to look at those inventory numbers. I think that's going to tell us the real story, set the tone for the rest of the week. Give me a call, shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to talk with you a little bit and how you can get positioned in that market. Of course, remember that futures trading does involve a substantial amount of risk, may not be suitable for all traders. Good luck and good trading.